Hey guys, I just thought I'd give you a bit of a rundown on this homemade portable single player arcade emulator box that I've put together. So this is probably my third attempt at making a portable MAME cabinet. I've got a rather large two-player one and a much smaller single-player one that's two buttons, which you can see over there. These are my preferred joysticks to use. I've made several with the round ball type joystick, but I find that these joysticks are a lot slacker, there's a lot more play in them, and they just generally don't feel as tight. These HAP joysticks are extremely springy and return to center really easily, super tight. So yeah, I'll just run through a few features. Standard Street Fighter layout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Start button, coin button down the front here. That's a fairly generic electronics store red button. And then there's the hotkey on the side here. Same button, but it allows you to enter into menus and option screens once you're in. Around the back, I've got a couple of panel mounts here. The Raspberry Pi power in. And under this little cap here you've got your HDMI and a USB. USB connects to the Raspberry Pi inside, so you can put a keyboard on there or a small USB hub and have a keyboard and mouse if you wanted to do any pissing around with any of the software. Underneath we've got this sliding panel that allows you access to the guts. There was quite a lot of slack cable that you can see tied up over here that I had to take up. Some of the panel mounts and stuff like that had a 1 meter cable on there, so there's over probably 9 or 10 meters of cable that have had to be coiled up in there. I could have been a little bit smarter about which panel mounts I bought and what cables I used, but ultimately you can get access into there and change your SD card if you need to re-image it, or change the entire Raspberry Pi if it goes faulty. But most of the cables in there are fairly inert. They're just micro switches and stuff like that. There's very little in here that can actually die, except for there's a little joystick board up the back there. I'm not sure if you can see that. So the joystick board, I guess, could die, and the Raspberry Pi itself could die, but the rest of it is just fairly inert components and standard electronics tool type stuff. So why don't we turn her on? Just connect the HDMI. This cap here is a little tight at the moment, and I'm quite sure with repeated opening and closing that it will loosen up over time. And if it doesn't, it's staying open. So, with this, she should come to life. It's using something called Dynamo Arcade, which is an image that you can download from Arcade Punks. It's got 480 ROMs built in. ROMs built in. Most of the favorites, I don't think there'd be anything that people would be particularly after. I mean, the entire MAME catalogue is something like 14,000 ROMs. The 480 that have been included in this are extremely well presented, and I think they're the main ones that people will be looking for. The interface is extremely slick. This is a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus. You can notice when you're in these menus that there is a bit of a lag between when you change menus and when the animated menu actually changes. If we go to something in the Arcade Classics and play I have a It's crazy, Cole. See if we can find something iconic to play. People are probably screaming at me right now saying I'm going past a lot of iconic games, but I mean iconic to me. Fire up Donkey Kong. I am terrible at Donkey Kong, so this will probably be a bit of a joke, but it'll give you an idea of what the experience is actually like. Okay, so we can press down the front here, the little coin button. So the guys that did the image have obviously gone and got all of the necessary side paneling. I'll stop talking while this game blares. Yeah. Try. No hammer this time. I didn't say I was good. So with our hotkey, we can just press the hotkey and start, and we can go straight back to the launcher, start browsing our games again, try and find something that maybe we're a bit better at. It would be nice if there was a way to quickly jump between games. Maybe there is, and I haven't found it yet. There is a game that I usually like to go to test all emulation, because it was one of my favourites. It's going to be around here somewhere. So many Street Fighters. Let's go in and have a look at Snow Brothers. Again, the classic sci-fi. I don't know where they get all this stuff from. Somebody's done a lot of work in tracking down these cabinets and getting this imagery. Hooray! Hey, it's not usually my style, boys. I didn't think that would happen, obviously, or I wouldn't have done it. What's that crazy flapping of the arms? Not ideal position to want to be facing a boss. No power-ups or nothing. Usually I'm a lot better than this. Seems worth it. I'm sure everybody wants to see at least one Street Fighter game, I'm guessing. It's not going to be that one or that one. Apologies for the break in transmission. It's probably a rather large ROM, that one. Music sounds a bit off in this. I don't know how that's coming out for you guys. This is the first time I use this camera, by the way, so Apologies for the fisheye element that I know that this camera has a tendency to do. Guile theme goes with everything. Oh, that was just suicide. This is usually about as far as I get on one credit, folks. Ah! Some fairly questionable legwork going on there. Yes. Hi, Austin.
Stop green.
Mm-hmm.
Sally is green.
Mm-hmm.
The color's grey.
And that is that, folks. So out of there, straight back to the menu. We can go down, and here they're actually grouped into different vendors here, so you can actually go into the Capcom Classics where you'll find all of the Street Fighters, along with different Capcom franchises as well. So there's a lot of Capcom in here. If we go down here to Midway Classics, I'm sure we'll find. I haven't actually played Mortal Kombat 2 on this yet, so I'm not sure if the button layout is good, bad, or indifferent. It does look decidedly more pixelated than I remember. To try and figure out what the buttons are. Oh, jeepers. Oh dear. Buttons don't seem that obvious to me. Maybe. She's landing something, and this is skin of the teeth. The old toasty. Hey, So there you have it, folks. Portable single-player arcade cabinet. Go anywhere. Any HDMI screen will do. Thanks for watching.